welcome back to Business 163, Personal Finance. And this is now module number 3, as you're aware of. And in this module, what we are looking at is the topic in the history of the biases and prejudices and systemic inequities in our financial system. And therefore, how with this kind of knowledge, we can use personal finance, as you see in this very first title slide, as a tool, financial literacy as a tool for social justice. What are we talking about here? Well, let me give you 3 examples in this short introductory first video as we take a good look at this topic. So first of all, consider the hardworking student who is earning great grades, but has decided college is not in my future. I can't go to college. Why? Not because I don't have the grades or the test scores, but simply college is simply too expensive. You can see here some of the statistics. A large percentage of low-income families decide that college is not a possibility by the time their child is only 3 years old. And the source of that is the good folks at Prosperity Now. Can you imagine that? Parents deciding before their child is 4 years old that college just is simply not in the cards, no matter how bright and smart and intelligent and clever and ambitious that child may grow up to be. It's just not in the cards. Second bullet point, at least 1.7 million students do not file for the federal financial aid form, the FAFSA form, each year because they incorrectly believe themselves to be ineligible. Now, let's just pause there. 1.7 million students who might otherwise be trying to find a way to fund college, and they don't file the FAFSA. Why? Because they incorrectly believe themselves to be ineligible. What does the third bullet point say there? Almost 4 million students a year drop out of school without graduating, saddled with debt and yet without a degree. Now, I want to pause at this first slide. And so if any of these bullet points deeply resonates with you because it's part of your history, perhaps part of your family's history and these kinds of things, let me just tell you, you are in the right place. This class is designed to correct and to augment some of our thinking and our knowledge about these very kinds of topics. And I want to tell you, here in the state of California, the California Community College system is one of the very best deals in higher education. We can talk more about that outside of this lecture if you wish, but because of the way that the guarantee is set up between the California Community College system and the state university system with, I believe, 24 campuses all around the state of California, this is one of the best deals in education. You are in the right place. But as we return to this slide, just digest what this means. It means that millions of students, bright, intelligent, qualified to go to college, may in fact be disqualifying themselves and dropping out before they're able to secure the goal that they have put their path on. This is tragic. This is almost criminal. Well, let's look at the next slide. I'm sorry, but your credit score disqualifies you from this hiring opportunity. Did you realize, or perhaps you didn't realize, that nowadays in the United States, more and more and more employers are using credit history as a fundamental tool in background checks? Now, what is the logic of a potential employer screening applicants by not only going into their background, but looking at their credit score? Well, because the best predictor of the likelihood of someone repaying their future debts is, quite frankly, statistically, their history in repaying their past debts. And yet, at the same time, I want to be careful. I want to ensure that every one of us understand no one wants to be defined by their past challenges, by their past mistakes, by their past errors. Nobody wants to be labeled and defined by those things. They want to have those things pulled back and they want to be given another chance to say, hey, I have value, I'm gold on the inside, I can turn this around. But just realize the reality is, in today's employment landscape, poor credit can prevent you from getting a job or receiving a promotion, or even, in some cases, keeping the job you currently have. This too is one of the reasons why we have an entire module in this class on credit scores, credit history, how to maintain your credit. Or perhaps this next slide. I want to leave, but I can't afford to. When we talk about domestic abuse, and I realize this is a very sensitive subject, realize the statistics tell us that financial abuse occurs in 99% of domestic abuse cases. The reason is obvious. Money is power. And so abusers oftentimes strip away access to money so that their victims are trapped and unable to make decisions to protect themselves and their children. This is simply a reality, and I'm sorry, I do sincerely apologize if this is a little personal and a little sensitive area for someone in this class, but this is another reason why financial literacy and learning how the system works is so important for the sake of social justice and equity. So financial literacy can mean the difference. Think about it. A bright child denied an education. A qualified worker denied a job. A person stuck in an abusive relationship. In those three examples and so many more, human beings won't have as many choices available to them for them to improve their lives. And so financial literacy can make the difference between opportunity and adversity. Financial literacy means access to knowledge, opportunity, and power, personal power. Financial literacy teaches analytical thinking, how to approach a situation, how to identify the most important elements to consider, how to weigh out the best options. All of these things can be equipped and empowered by the person who learns how personal money works. And so I hope you can understand how, as we begin this module, financial literacy can be the great equalizer for all of these kinds of examples and even more that we're going to look into in this module, because of systemic inequities, because in our society we frankly have too many have-nots, to provide a more fair balance of opportunities and to make the system more fair for all. This is why we have this module, for you to also equip yourself not only with knowledge for your own personal financial well-being, but also to see financial literacy as perhaps the great equalizer, as a tool for social justice. Well, I hope that this has been encouraging for you and perhaps eye-opening for you. And perhaps as you think about some of the doors that you think are shut on you, to realize maybe they're not shut. Maybe this very class on personal finance and financial literacy is part of the answer for empowerment and to open the door to more opportunities and choices for you than you ever thought might be possible. I surely hope so, and I invite you now to Module 3. There are a couple more lecture videos and then some supplementary reading and some supplementary videos for you to digest as well. Welcome to Module 3. We'll see you in the next video.